Hello and welcome to EFAP Superchat Catchup for episode 331, a Minecraft movie breakdown. A classic, our favorite of the year. Just wonderful that they made it, thank goodness. And I'm sure by now there's 7 Minecraft movies, and they're all amazing. The most curious one will be when Jack Black decides he won't come back to it. That'll be the sign that things are coming to an end for Minecraft, I guess. Really sad. No.
Do you think he'll ever say no, or will he have to die before he says no?
He'll have to die.
The money will dry up, man. You know, they'll be like, "Oh, we can't pay you as much," and he'll be like, "I'm Steve. I believe you owe me quite significantly for the success of this franchise." So they'll need to think about that before they so brazenly suggest he's paid any less than billions. In any case, you guys
think that do you think that people would be legitimately upset if he is not in the next Minecraft movie?
I'd hope not. But no, people are weird.
Part of me would be surprised. I would think there would probably be a non-trivial number of people who forgot he was in the first Minecraft movie. So it's just like, you could just have any Steve, and then you'll say, "But wasn't it Jack Black last time?" And someone will say, "I don't know, was it? I don't remember that film, but I remember the chicken jockey."
Oh no!
The Rock and Seth Rogen.
Yeah, he was Steve.
At the same time, they're Steve brothers. Great. Anyway, we're going to answer some messages you guys sent in. Here we go. Oh no, guys. Arguably, you've broken the narrative tripling of the EFAP host species kind variety. Why no more Gadelbs, Mauler? We miss them. Also, hi, Rags.
Hello.
You know, there's still a huge variety of species here. That's the whole point. Human is a variety, alright? Changes everything. And, and why no more Gadelbs? I mean, I don't even remember when they were stopped, but it's been a while. And I just said that I felt like the point was made and nothing changed significantly. If anything, reviewing has gotten much worse, even since I started trying to point it out with both EFAP and Gadelb as a sort of like, we need a better class of reviewer, but all seem to have collapsed along with the media. Maybe reviewers will get better when media gets better. How about that? Could be it.
Maybe.
They need to be inspired.
Sometimes maybe things have to get worse before they get better.
Please do your best seal impression.
Like on an envelope? All right.
What would that impression sound like?
Well, I was doing it, but you interrupted me. But I think they got the idea.
So it's just nothing? I mean, can't you make like a squelch sound for getting sealed?
Oh, like an old-timey wax seal.
Yeah.
Like on some official royal edict.
Mm-hmm. That must be what they meant.
Yeah. I don't know what sound that would make, though. It'd probably be a really subtle, fairly nondescript sort of noise.
Hyper microphone that was right next to it, you might get like a sort of thing. Great. You ever see those videos? They're like ASMR, but for sounds that you'd rarely ever hear because they're super.
No, I don't see those videos. I don't like ASMR.
Well, it's not. I said like. It's say for example a match. They'll light it up, but the microphone will be right next to it, and it'll be super zoomed in, and you'll hear stuff that is unusual and sounds kind of cool.
Okay, all right, like sounds you would miss otherwise if.
Yeah, because our ears are shit.
Sounds different. That sounds better than typically what ASMR is, which is bad and
feels licking plastic ears or some shit. Yeah, it's not really.
Yeah, or what if? Yeah, it's I don't like it.
So when they make the Fortnite movie, will it even have a plot? No.
It will have. They'll probably do what Minecraft did.
Yeah.
It'll probably be some people get sucked into Fortnite world, and then they have to win a big victory royale cheeseburger. And then that means that they can go home and discover their courage or something. I don't know.
But it'll be some hideous mix of Minecraft and Ready Player One, because whichever studio does it will be trying to chuck as many of their different IPs in as possible, and then it'll be just like,
I wonder if that's already in the paperwork. If you get your stuff into Fortnite, I wonder if there's like a little clause or bonus in there that like, hey, if we ever want to use this for a motion picture, we can use, some of your imagery in the Fortnite thingy. Like Mr. Beast, we could see Mr. Beast in the Fortnite movie because he's got a skin, which means he'll be in 2 different shows. He'll have the Mr. Beast games, and then he will be a skin in Minecraft.
Oh yeah, cube flavored slop. Yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's fan games trample on what Steel Wool is capable of. We need more hired for official spin-offs, and we need more camera mechanics expanded upon. Okay.
Has anyone here played a Five Nights at Freddy game?
I played a bunch of them. They're awful.
You have?
Yeah.
I've played
What
any,
is
not a single
what's
one.
what's your favorite and your least favorite?
My favorite is whichever one has more mechanics than basically zero, because that's
that
how
what
I
most
felt
of them
playing
are?
them. Yeah, and then of course
Oh.
ones that are maybe a bit more clever with how the scares work as opposed to just that fucking high pitch garbage that, if anything, just puts me off from playing it. Not because it's scary, because it's extremely annoying. The standard Five Nights at Freddy's experience. What can you say? Five Nights at Freddy's is what it is. Got so
They look
fucking
like the
far.
game I would never play ever.
I'd certainly never recommend it to any of you.
All I know about Five Nights at Freddy's is, I guess we saw the movie,
Yep.
and there's some random memes just through internet culture that you pick up on where like Freddy Fazbear is in some meme, and I've seen a lot of Roxanne, but that's different. So that's all I really know about.
I think they got added into Dead by Daylight, one of the fucking Five Nights at Freddy's. It was
Did
Matthew
they?
Lillard as well. He did the voice,
You're
which was the only cool
do you
thing
like-
about it to me, where they got a recording session, he's doing his thing, and I'm just like, oh. I like
what do
seeing
I
him
know
get work.
from?
Shaggy.
I'm Shaggy, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's gonna be in the Carrie TV show made by Mike Flanagan, which I will be watching day fucking hour
yeah.
one.
I don't give a shit about Carrie, but like Mike Flanagan, well, I mean, now I guess I care.
Well, Shaggy's gonna be the
Isn't he,
principal of the school, I think. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that I could already see. That's just easy. That's an easy casting right there. That's really cool though.
Yeah. You know the crazy. Fuck. So in Midnight Mass, she was like the main villain. Remember that actress?
Yes, yeah, the blonde chick. Yeah.
She's gonna be Carrie's mum, which I actually think is a very good cast because Carrie's mum's a fucking psycho.
Okay.
But hey, we will more than likely want to see that, so it'll give everyone an excuse to check out the original Carrie if you haven't already. Good old Stephen King adaptations. You never know what you're gonna get. It's a complete dice roll.
You never know what you're gonna get, I suppose. Yeah.
This movie makes me want to craft a mine. Okay, I guess that's a good thing.
First we craft and then we mine, like they said in the movie.
I think it was the other way around.
Yep, it was the other way around.
Craft Mine, which isn't the name of the game.
Craft Mine is probably a
Could
game.
you call a game Craft Mine? Oh, let me look on Steam right now and see if there's a
guaranteed. There's probably more than one.
Probably.
All right, let me check. All right, Craft Mine. Oh, maybe it's a space. Craft Mine? No. There's 0 matches for Craft Mine. Incredible.
Pointed in humanity.
Maybe they knew. They knew they couldn't get away with that.
Well, what about? Are there other games called Minecraft? I guess with the space or something. That's some of the slithery they could try.
There's Minecraft Dungeons, Minecraft Legends.
And these are all not related to Minecraft, right?
They are. It is. Mine Idlecraft. Coming soon. Oh my goodness, look at this. It even has like a little block style and the people look like okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. not really anything's popping up here.
Fair enough.
Mining, crafting. What about just mining? Gold mining simulator, mining, gold mining simulator 2. Yeah.
Why are you guys still talking about Minecraft? Monopoly movie is coming out. Yeah, produced by what's her name, right? Unless this is just some fucking ghost memory or some shit. Why am I forgetting her name? Main person in Barbie. Margot Robbie. Yeah.
Oh.
She's apparently producing the Monopoly movie. That's what I remember reading.
Wait, is
Really?
that? Oh, that's real. Okay.
I knew they were
was
doing a
kinda
Monopoly
Monopoly
movie. I
movie.
didn't know she was produced because she produced the Barbie movie. I just assumed it was that one. But they decided, yeah, they're doing a Monopoly movie. They're doing like a what are the other? It's about 1 billion other board games that company owns, Mattel or whatever it is.
Why not?
So they decided that.
Yeah.
Wait,
Look, once they
is
do the
Monopoly
Connect
Mattel or
4
Hasbro?
movie.
I don't.
Well,
Wait, I don't.
I assume the point being made is just that we're getting board game movies in general.
Well,
Which-
yeah, I guess that's not surprising. Yeah, Monopoly is Hasbro. I thought so. But Hasbro is, yeah, I mean, fucking Transformers is Hasbro, so you know they're not above. And Battleship, God,
To
remember
be
Battleship?
was a great
fair,
movie.
yeah,
What a
Battleship
great
is a
movie.
better example because Transformers is like, well, that is viable. Like that makes
a lot of
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas
But
Battleship,
well, Battleship, you'd be
Yeah.
like, so is it just gonna like? How could you? And then it's like, yes, it's exactly what you think, and it's as stupid as you think. Like,
Two
right?
blind fleet naval admirals who are blind and cannot see they know that there is an enemy fleet out there, and they have unlimited missiles, and so they just one by one shoot at each other, hoping for the best.
Don't listen to the lies. Severance season 1 and 2 sucked. My God.
Oh my goodness.
It is
Discuss in the
pretty
comments.
universally praised. So
Season 1 seemed okay to me. I could only second monitor it though, so I haven't given it a proper watch. But it was
shouldn't admit that. People are gonna hate
intriguing.
you.
Yeah, I know, but it's a time thing. It lets me know that it's intriguing enough to be shoved onto the main monitor when I actually have time to do that. But it was intriguing enough for me to want to do that, which is a good start. I haven't seen season 2 yet, though I've seen a bit of it, but not much.
Fringy, they want you to look up Wan Hu, the first astronaut. He's a humorous historical figure.
Oh, I think I know who this is in reference to.
Is it Wan Hu?
I think I know one who.
All right then. I can't believe this movie had a reference to Technoblade. How disrespectful. He would absolutely despise this whole thing. I just don't know anything about him, I'm afraid, so I can't speak to that, but yeah, it's the pig with the crown or whatever was the reference. Oh, did you guys see the normal version or the unfinished CGI version that's been popping up in some theaters? That shit is hilarious.
Yep.
I have seen this, yes.
I've seen both versions.
that's insane.
Which version is better?
The unfinished one for sure.
Easily. It's so much more visually distinctive and lovely and funny.
Hilarious,
and
yeah.
There's actually some better setup and payoff stuff in it as well, so the writing's technically an improvement.
Oh yeah, they had cutscenes. That's right, they did.
Isn't that interesting? Cutscenes versus cutscenes.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Or
Yeah, it's about how
Yeah,
with
right.
English you gap it so that it means a completely different thing. I like
That's crazy.
like how it works. Yeah, I said interesting, not crazy. Fucking straw man in me. What is this?
all right.
He crafted you out of hay.
He did.
He got hay bales. He put 9 straw together on the crafting table, and he made a hay bale, and then he constructed a fringy version of it.
Been a while since I caught you guys live. Glad to be here. Have any of you seen Dogman or Flow? And if so, what are your quick thoughts? Hi, Rex.
Hello.
Flow is excellent. 2024's winner.
Great. But I haven't seen Dogman.
I was going to say, what is Dogman?
It looks neat. It looks like a neat visual style.
You know that? Like Captain Underpants, it's from the same
Oh,
guy,
okay.
I think. And it's a DreamWorks movie, I think. Yeah, but I haven't seen it.
Farewell and adieu to you, fair Fleamish massives. Farewell and adieu, you massives of Fleam. Farewell. and adieu.
Farewell.
Yo, love you guys. Can't wait to hear how mid the Minecraft movie probably is. Mid?
Mid.
Man,
All right.
holy shit.
When is the EFAP Minecraft gaming stream? It's right behind the thousands of other games we've got. We never finished Chain Together as well.
You're right. Every time I go to Steam and my library and it's sitting there
Mm-hmm.
up near the top on account of it starting with a C, and I'm like, oh boy.
Failed. My
We
theater
haven't failed.
cheered.
We just are in the process of succeeding.
I see. My theater cheered, filled with a bunch of 16-plus-year-olds. Almost everything to the point I just shouted, "Boo!" The film was ADHD on crack, 1 star.
ADHD on crack.
You gave it a whole star? Nice of you.
I would give it like the point of a star.
Or maybe just one of the middle bits. Nothing like, because the point seems like special in a way, you know? Pop culture will never regard Minecraft Steve and Flinton Steel as the same character, and if it does, then we deserve the meteor. Right? Yeah. Yes. You know, there's a lot of Minecraft fans who are just not fucking happy about that Minecraft movie. Never would have thought.
Really? Never would have thought that? Huh.
Wait, how many layers of sarcasm are we doing right now?
3.
That's- How many
None.
layers do you think it's more than that?
3, I think was the answer given, so I'll go with that. I watched this movie today, and it was certainly a movie. Guess it might be able to qualify.
I don't think it does. I think we should raise the bar on what qualifies as a movie. It's offensive to movies if you qualify this as a movie.
It is.
There should
Well,
be
it has to be offensive to movies. Right. Well, if it is a movie, that would mean it's offensive to movies, right? Like if it wasn't a movie, it wouldn't be offensive to movies, right?
no, but
and
that's
some-
why I'm saying it shouldn't be a movie, so we don't offend movies.
Well, but it would
If-
be offensive
Oh,
if
in
it
order
were
to save
if
the
it were
movie.
considered a movie. It would be offensive to movies, whether or not it is a movie, right?
Yes.
It's like it's not allowed in the club, but a lot of people say that it is, which is offensive. Pickable, even.
Yeah, I'm not a fan myself.
It
It is a movie though.
Steve, chicken jockey, slime cube,
Chicken
lava, chicken coming in hot. Release big old red ones, flint and steel, the nether. You know, they just posted all those quotes. Thank you for that. You know, we love reliving that movie. Mola, please tell me you were joking on Open Bar about Doctor Who being a midnight sequel. I'm tired, boss. I'm so tired. They made it. It was awful. It was clearly a repurposed other episode, and they've done it much like they've done many things in their second season of Shurigatwa's run to desperately try and gain ratings post realizing season 1 crashed. So there's a huge controversy with how it ended, right? Like Billie Piper just appears. And it's coming out now that she recorded that in London, like with a small crew that just like arrived in some small studio. She was on a green screen, and they did it, and then they superimposed her on top of what was apparently originally going to be an ambiguous ending. But that itself was already a reshoot because Shurigatwa's got there's evidence of a different ending taking place for season 2 that was more like standard. You know, like, oh, we did it, we win, moving on. But I guess he decided after the result of season 1 that he's not coming back, which is a smart move because it's a crashing fucking series and you don't want that dragging your career down, I guess. So,
I mean, he said that, right? He said he doesn't want to be known as Doctor Who. He doesn't want to be associated. Like he doesn't want to be like, oh, you're the Doctor Who guy.
well, I mean, the funny thing is a lot of actors would have said like the reverse, as in it's so fucking cool to be Doctor Who, but at this point, Doctor Who is a dying, not even dying, it's a malignant tumor to be attached to. You don't want to be on that shit.
I mean, from the outside in, it looks like a clown franchise to me.
Yeah.
Like a really
Well,
goofy clown shit show, you know?
The discussion broadly, which is really funny because I've been set loads of examples of this, once the second season wrapped up with Shurigatwa, everyone was comparing Russell T Davies to Dave Filoni. I was like, holy shit!
Ah,
Like, damn.
What? Oh,
okay.
Just yeah, just just the undertakers of franchises once with such potential. Some people saying that Filoni and Russell T both boosted the franchise and then took it down, which I think it's dubious to say that Filoni ever.
Filoni
Yeah.
didn't. No, he didn't boost it. Like, what are you talking about?
Hmm.
Oh, what, the Clone Wars? It's like, yes, because Revenge of the Sith didn't make like $1 billion. So,
Yeah,
like,
like the
Star
Clone
Wars was
Wars, the
always
Filoni stuff is
massively
always
successful.
riding on the coattails of the movies that were coming out at that
Exactly.
time. Nothing was.
Yeah.
You can say as much for Russell T Davies that there wasn't a big Doctor Who franchise when he revived it in like the early
Yeah, I'm willing to
2000s
give
or
him
whenever
credit.
it was. And at some point in the intervening time, he left, spent some time in America, and came back completely retarded. And it's just like, well, I don't really know what
Well,
happened to him.
happens, but
it doesn't
well,
happen to everyone who comes here.
Not everyone, just some people, some very prominent people. Is it even getting a third season? Is that actually sort of cast iron, or is it?
As far as I know, they're definitely getting specials. I'm not sure about a season, but maybe by the time people are listening to this, the information's become a lot more solid. But point that I was trying to make overall was just that there've been so many desperate moves to boost the notion that the show is actually not dead at all, and that to get investors or Disney to continue to pay for more. But crashing and burning, and so
that though.
the Midnight sequel episode was clearly about a new monster that does completely different things than the Midnight one does, but they repurposed it to make it into the Midnight one, just to try and make fans be like, "Oh my god, Midnight sequel, woo!" And
We're
it
not
was
desperate
fucking
at all.
atrocious, and it upset me greatly to the point where who knows, maybe one day I'd make a video about it because my god, ruining more things I love, really. Like the universe is coming after me personally, but also for
So
everybody.
For years, I have only heard terrible, terrible things about the quality of the show, and like the ratings have been abysmally bad consistently for a long time.
Yep.
Wwhy
Is
do
it still
those
going?
people get to? Well, like why do those people get to continue working on it?
Like just chase it. Well, because I mean, it does have explanations throughout, right? Its initial run dying was a result of it was an enormous star that just slowly faded. The Jodie Whittaker era, as many people would say, is like the official sort of end of that run. But then there was a huge boost, a huge shot in the arm of bringing back the original creator who brought it into its like golden
That's the
age.
Chibnall guy, right?
Russell T Davies, and then
Russell T Davies.
and then we get to bringing in David Tennant, who's considered broadly to be the most popular New Era Doctor. It's like, whoa,
Even I know that. Even I know him, and I
Well,
don't know
I
anything
mean,
about Doctor Who.
it's not ridiculous to compare it to, let's say, after Rise of Skywalker comes out, they say we're doing another Star Wars movie in 3 years' time, and it's going to be directed by George Lucas, starring, let's just say, if they were all alive, the original cast, who'd be like, whoa. And everybody would be super interested, and then it turns out to be worse than the sequels. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
No, abandon hope.
I was gonna say that timeline exists, and we didn't get that one. Okay, so maybe like we should count on fucking chickens.
No,
or
we shouldered our burden of misfortune when it comes to media.
we certainly lost significantly. It's true.
Would you do that though? Would you shuffle the the dice of fate and re-roll on
Everything?
just kind
Probably.
of everything? I think I would too. I
We're
think
hitting an
things are
average of
so
what, like
consistently horrific.
2 wins per what feels like 98 losses. So probably
Because
yeah.
I'm in agreement. I would legitimately be like, well, especially now that we have like Arcane season 2 and
Well, it would be sad if
that-
we re-roll and it says Andor is now the worst Star Wars show. We're like, oh, and then it's like you've also
Okay,
lost,
but-
Yeah, it would be like you've lost this, lost this, lost this. Imagine it said like you've re-rolled
surely
and
come out ahead.
Lord of the Rings is terrible. It'd be like, oh shit.
Oh,
but then
remember every time,
Yeah.
what did we get?
if our average
what thing
became
was
something
good?
like 40-60, holy shit,
Oh man.
Well, we live in this
What?
reality.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. What is the alternate universe's Lord of the Rings? What would you want it to be?
Want it to be? I mean, because I do love it the way that it is, right? But do you mean in terms of like another version
had
that's
to-
good?
Yeah, well, like if you had to choose like a different series, like a trilogy or a couple
Oh.
movies or something, to be like our Lord of the Rings in terms of its the reverence people show towards it, its quality, how it's withstood the test of time, how good it is
Rebel
and how much
Moon.
you love it. I mean, fair enough. You can't have a wrong answer.
I mean, to be fair, the
technically.
best Rebel Moon is probably pretty fucking awesome, isn't it? This
Oh yeah, like the Rebel Moon could be really. It's like a Star Wars-esque kind of show.
kind of. Yeah.
But then why
don't know
not
what
just
I'd
then
pick, though.
just pick like the new like the Star Wars sequel trilogy, fix that instead. You wouldn't even need Rebel Moon, but to have like a one that's as well regarded, if not even more well regarded than the original trilogy, and that comes out instead of the ones we got, would be pretty neat, I think. Certainly as a replacement for the Lord of the Rings, because the only other version of the Lord of the Rings I actually want to see is like a completed, finished version of that Soviet Union one, which is just trippy as fuck, but very funny. And there's only little bits of it that I've seen on YouTube, but it is all like I have no idea where they pulled half of it from. It's just madness, and I don't understand the language, but it's quite funny to watch, and I'd like to see the rest of it.
I took my kids, 4 and 6, to Snow White. Place was a third full with no energy from the crowd. Took my kids to Minecraft. The place was full, kids sitting at the aisles. It was a goddamn party in there. Unreal, the energy. Momoa was fun. Momoa's
Fair,
probably
yeah.
the strongest element, if such a thing could be said.
I think so. If they kind of gave him like a serious character and let him like flourish, then that could have been something. I'm not even gonna say neat or good. It could have been something. I mean, he
That is what
obviously
happened.
has the acting chops. He's a talented actor and he's got good energy.
He could have been given more. I mean, yeah, the fact that he was the closest thing to a character in the movie is probably actually has a lot to do with the fact that his name was credited as one of the producers, right? But it was one of the things about that movie is that it was an experience, and I think the experience thing was maybe even a reflection on how empty the movie itself was. Like you took kids to see it, kids made their own memories in the seats, sticking around, throwing chickens and popcorn, and they were able to do this because they knew that nothing on the screen was actually going to hold much of their attention. And so it becomes just like it is the movie going experience is almost now devoid of, or divorced from the movie you're going to see, because you didn't get that with even something like Endgame, which had the equivalent sort of audience size, but you still had people actually sat in their seats watching and paying attention to it.
Yeah,
because
actual
it's,
investment.
yeah, it's a narrative heavy movie, and Minecraft is just an excuse to go out.
I love that you also use logs as support for your structures and nice use of stairs, walls, fences, decorations. Could use a bit more wood, though. They're criticizing your images, Rags.
I don't think they would use more wood. I don't know where I would, like, unless I just added more beams to the interior, which I often do. I don't think that. No, I think there's a decent amount of wood. I think there's as much as there kind of needs to be, or at least it's kind of close-ish.
Fair enough. The AGM at my job saw it with her kids and said it was a fine movie. It felt nice when my boss and I had the general reaction of ew when hearing that. I think most adults watching the Minecraft movie just like the next generation's entertained sort of thing, as opposed to them liking or understanding it remotely. Like I said, my mum had no idea what the fucking film was. She's like, things were happening, I guess. Which is funny in and of itself.
Yeah, it's like I know that there's a lot of parents and stuff out there who know of Minecraft through their kids or their kids' friends and whatnot, and they talk about it. And this will be their potentially first exposure to Minecraft, which is a tragedy. Because it's a wonderful game, and I really, really love it. But the film ain't nothing like it.
Yep.
It could always have like the opposite effects. Like a parent who has like knows their kid plays it, young kid, has never seen it, goes to see the movie. It is like a terrible advert for the game, and they think, well, I'm going to be responsible now, and I'm not going to let my kid play that absolutely brain dead pile of mush because this movie tells me that's what it is. That's just
Yeah. I wouldn't blame him. Like it'd be a tragedy, but I wouldn't blame him.
At least they cast real blockheads. Oh ho ho! Got 'em.
Nice.
I really dislike the Technoblade cameo. Felt like they threw that into the movie because it would be an easy win. It seems really shallow, and people ate that up anyway, like a single sprinkle on a shit sundae. Well, I mean, the previous Super Chatter said they thought it was a disrespectful cameo. In general.
I thought it was just like slightly disrespectful placement because it comes about 15 seconds before Lava Chicken, It's like it's just not. It's not where I would choose to have my memorial. I don't think.
Well, there's
In the
also
movie?
just
True.
you have to imagine. Like, I know that you could argue it's like, well, you know, it's for people who know, and it's like, is that how that should be? Because obviously, when I first saw it, I had no idea what it was a reference to. I thought it was like, oh, it's probably just some mob in the game that you can come across that'll give you money or something. I had no idea. Would Rag's architect parents like Minecraft? The game?
Probably. They
Or the
probably
movie?
would. They're not gamers. Oh, not the movie? No, they'd hate it. Come on, don't insult my parentage. They would like the game. They're not gamers. They don't game. Um but I mean back in the day, as I had featured in a video, I think a Jim Sterling one a while back. My dad used to play a bunch of like puzzle games, Myst and Riven, Pegasus Prime, Time Lapse, that kind of thing. But I think that he could get into it. And I think mom could too.
Hey Muller, a show called Below the Ley Line at Harker High is being funded on Backer Kit, and the writers state it's inspired by Buffy. Hard to tell from the trailer, but it looks neat. Fair enough. I wish the best for them. Is Minecraft aimed
Yeah.
at fans of the game, or is it aimed at fans of the YouTubers who play the game?
The latter. I guess both. It's
Both,
tough
yeah.
to say. I mean, it's like what's the generic slop movie that we could put out that'll make a lot of money? There it is. That's the movie they made. I guess there's a lot of crossover. I don't watch any Minecraft YouTubers. I just don't watch any of it. So I don't know who they are. I mean,
Well, there's an unfortunate association with Minecraft YouTubers as well.
reputation, yeah. I just assume, yeah, like I don't know any of them. I certainly wouldn't let my children anywhere near them either.
I'm making a Fallout fan film and or novel myself. My goal is to tell better world building than what Bethesda is capable. That shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, should not be too hard at all. Bethesda writing's been really bad for a long time.
God, when's that Season 2 Fallout show coming? On the way.
Ugh.
Relenting.
It's coming. The production's. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, sweet crispy cringe, how it sings to me. How could they do this? Oh, right, it's a kid's movie. They don't deserve good things. Yeah, that conversation's been coming and going a lot. I had a couple people saying, like, it is still embarrassing to spend so much time talking about children's films. I really don't get it. Like, do they know how many adults spend their time on these things? Creating them, I mean? And that it's an art? As in, like, to make content, to inspire, or to educate children? It's a whole thing. Really important, too. Arguably, civilization building levels important. But alright.
The media we give to the kids, yeah. Next generation's inspiration.
Pretty
So
much
weird.
any writer working today, I'm pretty sure, would be able to name you something they read as a kid that inspired them to start doing it in the first place. It's very
Many of
important
these
that
people
thing
cite
is
that
good.
stuff. But then you wonder what happened.
Hope they cite good shit, not cringe shit. As we said, we're in like the MCU generation. There are people now who are of working age writing things who, when they were babies, Iron Man was popping out. It's like, God.
Yeah, Iron Man came out 17 years ago.
Be careful, all right? Gotta give the kids good shit. That's a good idea. People have made computers using Redstone that can play Minecraft and mine for Bitcoin, and this is the movie they made. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, if you gave this kind of, power to random Minecraft communities and YouTubers and stuff, they would be able to make something better than this, almost certainly. Because Minecraft, Minecrafters are full of creativity and passion, and so much of it is about building, and
Who'da thunk?
the movie wasn't any of that.
Everybody go watch Nuts' video. It's fantastic. Glad she's part of the panel. Also, hi, Rags.
Hello.
Turns out she did not like Minecraft. True.
If you can believe it.
If you can. This is Dave Filoni's ideal Star Wars movie. God.
Minecraft?
I'm sure he enjoyed Minecraft. We're like, wow, look at all
Probably.
these references. It's great. I know
Yeah.
this.
And then the Nukin, Skywalker, Ahsoka, Tano.
You'll probably compare the two anyway, but how does this and the Mario movie compare in your eyes? Oh my.
Mario movie's clearly better.
Not even
Yes.
close, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
like
even
it's pretty
close.
obvious, I would say. Mario movie's like a story.
Yeah,
You know,
fine.
it actually does have a story.
Crazy as that sounds, it does have a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have made a movie with Element Animation. Mojang has worked with them before, and I would have watched it. Well, it would have been
It never would have been entertained making an animated
No,
film. That was never on the cards.
But you know, let's pretend for a second they did, and it was actually extremely well written. The budget would have been staggeringly lower, even if they did cast a whole bunch of famous people, and it probably would have made a decent chunk of money. But it wouldn't. It probably wouldn't make as much as this thing did, unfortunately.
Reality, it probably wouldn't have.
And that's all that matters. Mauler, hi Rags.
Hello.
Guess I'll say hi as well. Joseph Anderson has released his Witcher 3 video, part 1. Some decent things, but a few absolute crap takes. Afraid I can't help you with that one. I know nothing about The Witcher.
It's been a long time since I've played it. The game's like 10 years old now. Man.
Oldie but a goodie, right? That's what they say.
Oldie but goldie, yeah.
Primitive War looks better than Jurassic World.
Most things do.
Primitive
Yeah.
War?
I'm not as familiar with that one, but, you know. Sure. So
I've shut out things that look better than Jurassic World, certainly than like Dominion, even
Well,
maybe the first one. It's like I try to go into a new franchise or like a new installment for a franchise kind of as open-minded as possible, but I cannot conceive of a way in which that whatever the new one comes out is not going to be absolute dog shit.
Took my kids to see Dogman 2 weeks ago. It told a good story, gave me characters that I cared about, and made me laugh. A movie based on Captain Underpants spin-off. No excuse.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
a fun,
no,
fun little
you
movie.
mean no
Yeah.
excuse. I mean, yeah, there's no reason why the Minecraft movie had to be dog shit. It's kind of lame that people have essentially concluded that. But, you know, whatever.
So we're all in agreement that the Switch 2 is an absolute scam, yes? I don't care if it's Donkey Kong. I ain't paying $80 for it. Demand better.
I mean, what exactly is so like is it specifically the charging of the $80 for the game?
It sounds like it is just by the like that amount of money for any game is, regardless of what the game is, necessarily a scam. I'm not sure I quite go along with that, but
well, the thing is like as far as I'm concerned, like all it's going to be is until it's like the game that you specifically really want to play, where price starts to become less relevant, then that's it, right? Like if Grand Theft Auto 6 costs $80, you know what I mean? Like I don't see that would be like a serious deterrent for like a significant number of people. I at this point expect that like all game prices are gonna go up basically, and that nothing that ain't gonna like stop, is what I would say.
it's been historically kind of weird anyway, in the sense that to expect all games, almost regardless of the amount of development cost that's incurred, and regardless of the size they go up to, and regardless of the new technology that's invented and invested in them, and the new software requirements and new hardware requirements, all this like massively changing cost element, it's a bit odd anyway to expect that all games at the top end have a stable and completely uniform price element as well. I haven't played any of the Switch 2 games yet, obviously, because it's not out at the time of this recording, but like, I'd be prepared to judge a game, I think, before I said that it was necessarily a scam to have spent $80 on it. Especially if it's something which has like, a massive replay value as well.
I have seen people say like, yeah, but there's no way that like Mario Kart World has like a budget like a Sony game. It's like, dude, whose fault is that? Like, what is the logic? Like, should games should the price that they charge be based on their budget? Because if that's the case, like, I don't think you want to make that the standard, because then you're saying like that there is actually almost like a moral imperative for Call of Duty to cost like $100 a year.
Well,
Meanwhile, like every Nintendo game should cost like $40 or $30 or something, like as if that's what the price should be based on.
I'd be somewhat curious if which deserves like more ire, a game that comes out at $60 but then releases an expansion that's also, let's say, $40 and then 2 DLCs on top that are both 20, or the game that costs 100 at launch and is bigger than all of those things put together.
Yeah, that's like I don't know. It's just at the end of the day, like ultimately the price are gonna go up, guys. Like that's happening. There's no way that like there have been so few instances where like gamers as a whole have mustered a sufficient like boycott of anything that actually like made a difference. Microtransactions didn't used to be in video games. And then they became a part of video games, and those games sold well. It didn't matter. Hell, even like the Xbox One, for all the damage that did to like Xbox as a brand, I mean, they still sold Xboxes. You know what I mean? And like at that point, it should just be a question of, well, it's ultimately about the value proposition to you. Like if you ask me, would I pay $80 for like a new Call of Duty game? No. Would I pay $80 for Mario Kart? Yeah, I'd pay that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, on the other
I
side of
would.
things too, a game, because of what Platoon said, right? So if I play Soma for the first time, I'm like, let's find out if this is worth $30. And at this point, if they release bonus merch, or I could buy a fucking skin, or basically, because Makeshift did a Soma plushie for Simon, that was like an instant buy. Same for
I've got that. Yeah.
Well,
And the hoodie. Did you get the?
my Soma hoodie arrived yesterday.
Oh,
Actually.
did it?
Oh,
damn! Yeah, I got the email that mine had shipped. I don't think it's arrived quite yet.
So I'll happily wear that at some point. And if someone could say like, well, yeah, but those are like physical things, I'd be like, no, like I'm not doing it because I so thoroughly love the idea of a hoodie or a Simon plushie, which that one's a bit different. But point is that any money that goes toward them for that project is fine with me because of how much engagement, entertainment, insight, all of it that get. So it gets complicated because another thing is that movies seem so much more standardized to the point where there's a floor and a ceiling on exactly how long and what kind of entertainment you'll be getting. Games, like Platoon said, it's all over the place. You could get any amount of time, any amount of quality, completely different experiences. We're talking, it's absolutely insane, the difference. And all these developers who are doing all different things, the standardization is difficult to say. I've been going through like my whole humble backlog. The sheer variety of video games is absolutely nuts. And the idea that all of them should have a standardized price, the best we can do is like AAA, AA, quadruple A, single, like that, and it's still as a standard.
Like,
it's kind of
is that the reason why, is that like the way that the prices should even be determined?
Yeah, it feels archaic almost.
It is, and it's always going to be. It's a gamble on behalf of the publisher anyway, because like, let's say Mario Kart World comes out, it costs $80, and it turns out it's definitely not worth $80. Then the consumer response to that is probably going to say, "Well, I'm not going to trust that anything else you're going to put out is going to be worth $80 either." And so, like, they will respond to it. There's no way you can tell in advance what is worth paying for and what isn't. You have to sort of go based on like the longevity of the thing, the reputation of the thing, the past enjoyment you've had out of similar games in the franchise. But if it comes out and it's not worth $80, then you'll probably look askance at another game that comes out that's $80 because you know that the quality hasn't improved to match it. But there is a lot of quite fanciful, like wish fulfillment fantasy stuff, I think, in just saying, well, all games should forever cost what they cost when I was a kid. I think there's a big element of that comes out because we all sort of remember them only costing a set amount. But then the Switch came out, is it 2017 the first Switch comes out?
Yes.
It's almost 10 years in which the economy hasn't been exactly stable and inflation has never gone down at any point during that point. I'd be interested actually just to look at the average price point of an original Switch game and the average price point of a Switch 2 game and just try to actually account for the amount of that which is simply accounted for by inflation.
I recall there was conversation about the price of the Switch 2 where people, because I think it's $450 in the US, which people said was high, but the original Switch I believe was $350. And if you tell me that between then to, extra $100, it's like, isn't that every other console went up $100? The PlayStation 4 to 5 was $100, and I think they've raised the price afterward on the PlayStation and the Xbox. Like the price has actually gone up on those systems. So I suppose, like, at the end of the day, right? Like ultimately, people need to make the determinations about like where they see the value proposition in individual games. But the prices are going to go up. Like, whether or not I think that they should go up, whether or not I think that they need to go up, because the thing is, like, digital games have a better margin, obviously, for publishers. There's a difference between how much money you get from physical sales versus digital. Digital, you get close to all of it. And digital games account for a greater proportion of games sold. Obviously, microtransactions and DLC is now comprising a significant amount of revenue as well. And so the idea of like, yeah, well, the prices should go up anyway. It's like, well, let's not pretend that any of these companies are like in poverty, you know? Like Activision, EA, these companies are making like record profits, and Nintendo's like hyper profitable as well. But yeah, like on an individual basis, like if you tell me a Nintendo game costs $80, it's like, yeah, I mean, you know, I'd probably pay that because Nintendo games are really reliable in terms of being good. Whether or not I would pay that for like fucking FIFA though would be kind of another thing. And of
Yeah.
course, Grand Theft Auto 6 will cost $80 and it will sell really, really well. So like I kind
it
of
will
see
be
it
big
as
enough to
if you
justify being $80,
pretty much.
even
And the
though
thing,
it'll
yeah,
it'll be just like a massive. I mean, it's like the online for it and the shark cards and
will make an
everything. And
insane amount of money. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like
I think
don't tell me that it needs to be 80, but if it was, I could understand that.
yeah,
But
I
don't
think
tell me it needs
that
to
would
be.
kind of be the argument I'd make is I ain't pretending like they're doing this for any reason other than to make more money, but like it depends on whether or not essentially you're
Some
willing to
games can
part with
get
that
away
much
with
money
it.
for specific games.
Some can get away with it, and
Um,
it's not necessarily just a bad thing either in the sense that I think Ken Levine was talking about this when someone interviewer asked, you know, why is it that Judas has taken about 10 years to develop or something like that? How did the company let you get away with it? And it is partly because they have these massive money spinning machines which are incredibly profitable, which because they are incredibly profitable will allow the company to take more risk on a riskier proposition, like a new IP or a new franchise or a smaller game which has not got the obvious name recognition and brand value attached to it. So like in order to allow more of these things into creation, sometimes you do have to accept that there's going to be a Call of Duty which is just sapping the soul out of the industry, but at least like it allows a lot of money to go to other projects. It's not just a strictly negative thing that those things exist either.
I will it is
yeah.
it's my intention to make a video sort of going over this, especially with the $80 Randy Pitchford Borderlands. You're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen comments. But I guess one of I don't know if it shouldn't be that much of a hot take, but I know a lot of people will know that I'm talking to them, you know, sort of indirectly when I say this, but if you have ever gone and bought a single skin for a character in a video game, especially if it's a first-person video game, and you paid $15-20 for that one skin, then maybe I don't want to hear you bitching too much about how an entire video game is now $80 instead of
Like
60.
I can't be asked to care. Like we lost, guys. It's over. Like a lot of these arguments about essentially the encroaching sort of bad business practices in the gaming industry. Like we lost. The
Gamers
idea that
couldn't say
Battlefront
no.
2 could even be seen as like a victory, it's like no, it just taught them how not to do it. And they pivoted into a much more successful model, which is essentially the fear of missing out battle pass, season pass sort of
passes, yeah,
model, which
Which
now
does
makes
feel
skins for everything.
it's
an
like for
insane amount
anybody
of
who
money. So when you
doesn't know, it's like we're talking what, like more than 15-ish years ago. This fight was
15 years
heavy,
ago,
huge, and super passionate, and it feels like it
Mhm.
just faded into a complete loss.
I mean, totally. Do you remember the online passes and all of the fights that happened over that? I mean,
Yeah.
fuck, the Xbox One was mentioned before, the used game shit. I mean, again, with the Xbox One, it feels like all that was learned from that is okay, don't focus on whether or not you can control how people buy the games, encourage them to buy more digital games, and try to generate more money from post-launch purchases. That's what it is. Every single time it's like, okay, that didn't work. Let's see if there's a way that we can more essentially covertly extract more money. And in the case of, you know, Nintendo raising the price to $80, like that just feels a lot more like if anything, I almost appreciate the honesty in that. The games cost more. That's it. But at the same time, like Mario Kart World ain't gonna have microtransactions or any shit like that in it. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a good video game, or is a good video game, I suppose. Now, you know, when this has come out,
2013 being the time we experienced in the middle of your
Xbox
standard
One.
AAA sort of action game, you can pay money with microtransactions to make your odds of winning in the campaign better, being Dead Space 3. That shit was shocking.
Dead Space 3. I remember Forza 5 or 6, I think, at the time also had microtransactions as well. These were premium games that had microtransactions, and it only got worse from there. So yeah, like to me, if somebody's saying like, "Oh yeah, no, Nintendo Switch 2 is a scam. I'm not paying $80 for games," it's like, well, I guess you're committing to the position of never buying any games ever, like ever again, except on sale, because they're gonna go up to $80.
Well, so
The idea that they're not gonna go up to $80, like there's any amount of pressure that could actually be mustered to prevent that from happening, is absurd.
I
It's
would
not
have assumed boycotting, especially with hindsight now, boycotting most microtransactional sort of, or just changes in financial gain for the ways they get it out of you in games is almost fucking futile. As much as we can claim victories, it's extremely few and extremely far between, and the
Well, the thing
consequences
is,
of which are only just they just go dormant for a little bit.
Most people aren't interested really in these conversations anyway. Like a significant number of people who are going to be buying like a Nintendo Switch are not going to be like engaged in these sort. And you know, the same applies for PlayStation, Xbox as well. And you know, and then of course another thing is that I'm pretty cynical in general about the state of like pro consumer advocacy in YouTube videos anyway. Like a lot of people failed the Cyberpunk test. You know, lots of people failed that test. So like I'm not very interested in the conversation afterward on this fucking Switch too. When it's like, oh yeah, Cyberpunk 2077, or what was it? Only on PC. You couldn't use any footage from the actual like sessions that you had. You could only use trailers. And many people who were like doing the consumer advocacy thing still made the reviews. So then it's like, oh yeah, Mario Kart World's $80. Like, I just whatever. Like, I'm not. But hey, I could just be saying this because I really like Mario Kart. Okay, I could just be coping and seething about how much more money I'm gonna have to spend on Mario Kart and Donkey Kong. No, I think Donkey Kong is only $70. Only $70. $70 dollars.
I mean, there are definitely games that I would pay $80 for. There's games that every one of us would pay $80 for if it was big enough, good enough, high quality enough.
And then there are games that would say, yeah, no, we do cost $80. It's like, no thanks, I'll pay $10 for you. You know, like it's just that's the way it works. At the end of the day, it has to come down to essentially like I mean, you know, I understand obviously that the broader point would be that, yeah, but if Nintendo does it, it sets a precedent. It's like, if it wasn't them, it was going to be someone else anyway. Those prices were going to go up and they're not going to go back down. That was going to happen no matter what. That's fair, particularly if you're in a position where you don't have that much money. It's like, well, fuck, I can't buy as many games. It's like, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, like that is like lame. And Nintendo games rarely go on sale. So you ain't getting those Nintendo games for cheap. But you got to make the determinations about like what the value proposition is of any individual game. Just because it's $80 doesn't mean that you should essentially accept it. If you don't want to pay that, then you don't have to. And you know, you shouldn't. But the prices are going up, and they're not coming back down. Like, I don't know. There's no point in even pretending that they will ever come back down, or that any amount of pressure could be applied that would make Mario Kart World a fucking failure commercially. That's just like a pipe dream.
There's
that's just the nature of things. Prices goes up over time.
A game called Knights of Honor 2 Sovereign.
Knights of Honor.
That sounds like a mobile game that I'll never play.
It does, doesn't it?
It's like the Naughty Dog game, Intergalactic Heretic
Prophet. Yeah,
that sounds like one of those mobile games that I will never that you don't play.
Interstellar Marines. Yeah.
Did you all see the Tron Ares trailer that was just released? If so, what are y'all's thoughts?
I mean, the music was kind of cool. The music, but it's 9 Inch Nails, so that's, you know, yeah.
I'll check it out when it comes out. If it's come out already, I don't even remember when this video's out.
October is when it's coming out, so
no clue. I gotta wrangle up my I think whoever's interested. I still gotta go see Phoenician Scheme and who knows what else.
This movie is an utter embarrassment, an insult to the greatest EST game of all time. Greatest EST game. Oh, maybe they mean greatest best game of all time, and they forgot the B. Anyway, this or the obliteration of Snow White, which Titan IP was wasted more?
Well, this made more
well,
money, so from the
Minecraft was
studio
wasted
perspective.
more.
Yeah, but I would say Minecraft was wasted more in the sense that we have a Snow White movie that's very good, you know? So,
Yeah.
didn't get one for Minecraft.
I think in terms of like cultural relevance, the size of it, and what it potentially could have been, Minecraft was the bigger waste.
Everyone should watch Alan Becker's short film Animation vs. Minecraft because it tells a neat story with great action scenes that set up the game's mechanics elegantly to be used as payoffs.
Animation versus. All right.
Watch Adolescence. Make sure to watch with an open mind and please remove any political biases you may have and do not listen to naysayers. Why do you say, like, unless you're new to
primes
EFAP,
us
why would you
against
say
it.
that to us? Like, hey EFAP, don't watch it with your political bias. Like, okay.
Okay. Well, all right. I'll try.
Yeah, Rag's right. If anything, now that you've said that, I'm going to be like, what would the political bias be? You know, you watch it and you're looking for the politics. You're like, what would it be? What would set me off? Apparently, I wonder. So yeah, you know, if we come across it, it's all good. Don't worry about it. But I don't think any of the four of us have seen it, have we? Oh no, Little Platoon, you've seen it, right?
Yeah, because it came up on Open Bar, sort of like with a similar conversation, which is like, it is perfectly possible, and indeed you should just watch it and admire the technique that goes into it. It's an incredibly well-made thing. The fact that it was a conversation around it is a separate issue.
Right. If you're all, if you are all interested in a much better version of Steve, watch An Egg's Guide to Minecraft by Element Animations. This is a much better adaptation.
Oh, I'm sure there's dozens of
Every
better
one.
YouTube videos. Yeah.
Well, they're all just
They'd
better.
They'd have to try hard to be worse.
Yep. Even my British audience clapped 5 times. Also, older sister takes care of bro after losing mum and they get sucked into a toy world. That's the Playmobil movie. I've not seen the Playmobil movie, but fair enough.
Even though there was one.
Yeah. I know this is dumb. I would have loved for them to work with, like, the Yogs cast and maybe even finish their story or adapt Captain Sparkle's animation or anything with the people who love it. Nah, they know better. Don't worry about that. They got this. They know what they're doing. What's going on? Why don't they like it? We spent $250 million on this. Rex, the producer from the Mr. Frog episode. Fitting quote, eh? Also, howdy, Rex. Not really applicable to this
Hello.
one, though. It made a shit ton of money and people claimed that it was fucking great. So,
Made lots of money.
Rex, in this case, would be very pleased. And you know what? He'd be like, I knew it. Knew all of these decisions were correct. Now, I get to make a sequel. More Chicken Jockey.
Chicken jockey.
Apparently, Rob McElhenney, creator of It's Always Sunny, was attached to write and direct the Minecraft movie like 10 years ago, but it fell through. A different fucking era 10 years ago.
It is funny to think that they had 10 years and at least 5 writers to create the Minecraft movie. Absolutely no evidence that any writer was anywhere near it at any point during that time. But it took that long and that many people apparently to not tell a story.
What's an example of the punished character archetype that you enjoy? If none come to mind, how would you execute it? Also, hi Rags.
Hello.
Well, I mean, there's shit tons. There's a particular favorite for me. I'll just say it's in Buffy and Angel. So if you know, you
I have a
know.
feeling.
Other than that, what are like famous, awesome examples? You could call Walter White's arc punished, somewhat, right?
Yeah, that's a bit of a punished arc. It feels like a bit of a meme to say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, the Punisher, Frank Castle. It's a punished
Yeah, he's a bit
arc,
punished.
right?
You could say he's a bit punished, yeah.
It's just not that unusual of a. There's a lot of examples of it.
Would Sarah Connor in Terminator 2 count, arguably?
I think so.
I think they're punished. Yeah.
Just broadly, you've gone through something extremely difficult that's completely changed you into a much more, cynical, aggressive, and ruthless type of character. Is often very engaging to watch. Because, my God, anyone can relate to that. Surely. Fringy's both left and right wing because he's a bird.
What? Because
Uh.
you got two different wings. I see.
Imagine if they made a proper film in Minecraft. Best assets, best graphics, unlimited access and processing. Could make a gorgeous film in engine. That would never happen.
Yeah, they could. You could do something gorgeous. I mean, like when I play my Minecraft game, I got a nice texture pack. I got a lovely little shader thing going on. It looks really nice. Way better than the Minecraft movie looks.
Yeah.
For damn sure.
When Steve said, "Chicken jockey," I clapped. I'll also clap when you Dumbos play DDLC, so do it.
Ooh. Well, if it will get us a clap.
Much like Chicken Jockey got one, that's some high praise, I'd say. I
I wish
coach.
it changed my answer. When people say what was the thing you could experience for the first time again, it used to be Fellowship of the Ring. But now I know that what I would give if I could go back and experience Chicken Jockey for the first time again.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I coach kids for work. They're all talking about watching this movie. In a world of rebooting IP, their parents are like, finally, a jangly key for them. Yeah, well, yeah, it did its job in that regard, I guess. Lots of kids were very entertained. Minecraft 2 with Jack Black and Lizzo. Could happen. I'll rule it out.
Maybe.
Excited.
Once a legend, always a legend. That is truly Jack Black's Steve. App, I asked for book recommendations on your stream, and your co-host said The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea. My new favorite, thanks to him. Well, sorry he's not here to hear that right now, but he does a stream every Sunday, I think. So you can catch him there for sure. App and Hugh, I believe. I'm so glad they didn't use the Minecraft OST, because knowing Warner Brothers, they'd claim the songs as theirs and copyright strike videos using it. Can you imagine?
That would have been great PR.
I mean, yeah, they were never going to use much of the Minecraft. It was always going to be just some generic score music.
I think you got like 2 seconds of
Pretty
the
much.
Minecraft theme in the Minecraft movie. Like actually,
Yeah.
like
Well, I mean,
maybe
shit,
2 or 4
the
seconds.
Mario movie doesn't have a significant amount of the soundtrack using the music from the games. It's got some of it for sure, but there's plenty that's just like
The
original.
Japanese got more than we did, I think.
What in
From the
terms
Japanese version, get
Oh,
more
well,
of the proper
because they would have less
orchestrated.
pop songs, yeah. Because I think the film ends with Mr. Blue Sky. It's
Of
like, all
course.
right, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably didn't
How
use
Mario-y.
OG Minecraft music because Microsoft got rid of the OG musician. That's why C418 stuff is different from the rest of the music in game.
Some of the newer stuff certainly harkens back to it, and it has the same vibe. But obviously, C418 is maybe responsible for, I guess, especially in terms of its popularity, and plus just how good a lot of it is, like the most iconic soundtrack of all time. I mean, the competitors would be things like maybe some of the Mario games and big Skyrim at this point. Jeremy Soule, who did that, did Oblivion's too. So
This movie is 100% accurate to the Minecraft books. Nice. Are Minecraft books? They good?
I am sure there are Minecraft books. I have no idea if they're good. Probably not, but
Hi, old. Do you allow people to post edited EFAP videos, not memes, but just edits? Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, as long as it's edited.
Obviously, yeah, not just re-uploading. We prefer that, of course.
Yeah.
This is Bricktana. She has my back. I wouldn't get on her bad side. Her axe captures the souls of its victims. I don't get it. Is that a
The
reference?
pork chops of it.
Sounds like a pig character with an axe or something. I don't. I was just trying to.
The piglins.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who
Yeah.
Bricktana is.
Bricktana.
I was saying Bricktana. Is
Bricktana.
that a game thing?
She's the piglin queen. Not to
Okay.
be confused with Malgosha, whose name I still actually remember. I guess that's what happens when you
Get so
like,
invested, you know?
Yeah, get so invested and you take notes and you write it down. I know when I was writing it down, I had to check my own notes to be like, what's this character? Oh, right, Malgosha. Yeah. You could tell that she's evil because her name starts with M-A-L.
I was just trying to push the sheep through the fence. I agree the game's ST was not utilized enough, but we do hear Axolotl by C418 play very briefly when we see the pandas reproduce. Okay.
Oh, that wasn't even in the version I saw. I don't think.
Since Pokemon designs often come up, what do you think of my favorite fire chicken, Blaziken? Peak Pokemon IMO, also Hyrax.
Hello. Yeah, Blaziken's alright. Blaziken's not bad.
I've
Blaziken's
never
not
jet.
bad.
liked the more like anthropomorphic ones. Blaziken is like the giant like bipedal chicken thing, right?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something about I don't know what it is. There's something about the slightly more anthropomorphic ones doesn't appeal at all.
I know
Not animal
exactly
enough.
what you mean.
I get what you
There
mean
is
too. There's
definitely
something off-putting about it.
I think the design is good, but I do agree that there is that line that you can straddle with how anthropomorphic you can make a Pokemon before it starts to get weird. I think Lucario is probably like a good example for where the line is. Lucario is a really
Like
neat
Mewtwo
Pokemon.
as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mewtwo would be a good one. But you got to be careful.
Yeah, because
Gotta
Mr.
be
Mime is
careful.
like pretty sort of weird looking,
Like
you know.
Yeah, he is a weird one. He was always a weird one.
Yeah.
Jinx as well. Jinx is like, oh, you're just kind of like a little goofy person. Hmm.
Also Hyrax.
Hello.
Nobody finds the portal over years of time. No one cares Jack Black is gone. How fortunate his world wasn't invaded by the Idaho Police Department. Yeah, I mean, it's all nonsense. They didn't even try.
Yeah, don't even bother. Honestly, it just falls apart at the seams, and the seams come apart at the seams.
The Minecraft movie is Rag's personal Vietnam.
Well, luckily, it didn't stay that way for long because Lilo and Stitch fucking took over.
Yay. Rock and stone greater than flint and steel.
True.
Look up Alan Becker's animation versus Minecraft series. That's the best Minecraft movie we're gonna get. Someone else recommended that one, I think.
Yeah, two different people recommended that.
They added all of you guys to Monster Hunter Wilds. Look up... Oh, I see. Okay, so... I'm guessing these are monsters. First one is look up Doshaguma. Okay, I think this... You're moving a little bit. They're saying this is you, Rags. I feel like you might disagree.
Oh boy. It's like a lion sloth kind of
It's something.
like a bear sloth kind of thing going on here. I mean it's orangish, brownish. If that's enough to qualify.
I guess so. Then they've got Rompo Polo, which is apparently Springy's one, which give me a second. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure Free will feel very connected to this.
What?
God.
All right, at least mine had the orangey brown color. That's
Is it because
just
this one
like
has a beak? Is that it?
it's all it takes.
Man, that's a design, isn't it?
Jesus, it's terrifying.
Rampopolo. That doesn't look like a Rampopolo. Rampopolo sounds like he would be like a happy, kind of rotund sort of goober critter. That looks like its name starts with an S, like it's snaky, slithery with V's, Savaravako or something.
And apparently the one for me is called New Undra. This is what it looks like.
I can see it.
This is from Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
Things got a little different
some-
since I've been gone, you know?
Those are fucked up monsters, man.
Feels like-
Someone needs to hunt them.
Is there like a Cthulhu dimension that you go to get to these guys? Because
Oh yeah, maybe it's a DLC.
could be. In any case, yeah, they said Yeah, did all of you guys look up those three? And Platoon is just a guy, so I guess he's the hunter. Yeah, fair.
True.
A shilling for the Minecraft redstone power meter. Very much.
Oh, thanks. This will
Anim-
keep our redstone torches lit.
Animation versus Minecraft is better and it has 0 dialogue.
Yeah, there's number 3.
No shock.
3 recommendations for it.
Crowd shouted the line, "I am Steve," when it came up. Truly the cinema of all time. Hell yeah, dude. 2.5 hours in and we're about to address the plot. Hell yeah, dude. Makes sense. Must have gotten to some
It was a
plot by then.
mistake, though, to address the plot. Yeah, we must have. Unless we talked about something else.
Or was it 2.5 hours that we got to when they enter the Minecraft world, maybe?
Oh, that might be the case.
That's
Because
probably
you have
it.
the whole first preambly acty
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah. Maybe.
This movie is funny for the fact that it exists. It's a shame nothing interesting was done with Minecraft and what it means to people across generations. They made something so meaningful to people into slop content. Yep. This movie is funny for the fact... Oh, wait. Sorry. What is your favorite passive mob in Minecraft? That would be one for Rags, because I have no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like chickens. I really like chickens. Chickens give you eggs. And chickens are kind of fun. Chickens are the only... I think they're the only of the farm critters. Yeah, because you could use... Yeah, these eggs are useful for things. Obviously, feathers you can use to make... Obviously, this depends on what kinds of mods and stuff you use. But feathers are useful for a variety of things. And I just like them. I just like chickens. Obviously, cows are probably a close number 2. Not so much for the steak, but for the leather that you're gonna need to make books and bookshelves and obviously anything else that you want to do, depending on what mods open up for you as an option.
Everyone had someone in high school who memorized Napoleon Dynamite's dance. Also, welcome back, Rags.
Oh boy, it's good to be back.
I'm in and out of listening while working on a video, and I'm continually being hit with the realization that you haven't gotten to the Minecraft world yet. Oh. Yeah, there you go.
There you
go. Want better villagers? Watch Villager News. That's a YouTube thing?
Yeah, I assume
Probably.
so.
What's that, Rags? Timmy fell down the well? Timmy fell down.
Yes,
Kept falling.
he did, but it was a long way between here and there. He's probably drowned now.
Jack Black should play Boogie 2988. No, it's not the right cast. I think Stellan
Boogie
Skarsgård.
play himself. Oh yeah,
Stellan Skarsgård in the Dune outfit, he could probably pull off being Boogie. Besides, I think that would be the role that gets him his Oscar.
I'm not used to this kind of scrutiny.
I would love to show him clips and be like, you gotta do that. You gotta be lit just like that. He's like, why did you cast me? It's like, you're perfect, dude. What do you mean? I could just see it now. Him or Bryan Cranston. Or Giancarlo Esposito. He could probably do Boogie as well. Got to get good at Anthony Hopkins. You know, you got to get a really good actor.
Oh yeah, he's just like sitting down saying all the Boogie lines, but in like the best possible speaking voice ever.
Like, all right, Anthony, here's what you say. That's a lot of money for a piece of color. He's like, what? Trust me, Anthony.
So I'm playing a fat racist. Yes, basically, yeah. That's actually not what he's known for, but it is true, yes.
This annoyed me. I'm going to buy and read the Max Brooks Minecraft books. At least the books start with the amnesiac Minecraft almost having a mental breakdown trying to comprehend the state of the block world. Oh, main character, not Minecraft, sorry. Okay. Idea. Rags, what shaders / texture packs do you recommend?
The 2 that I use Excalibur as the texture pack, and I use Supplementer or let me double check. complementary shaders, specifically complementary shaders Unbound is that's the shader pack that I use. I think it looks very lovely. So Excalibur and complementary shaders Unbound.
So Steve is Cuban? Don't know. They abused
I don't know.
They abused Jack the Black's acting for moolah. Oh, moolah like money.
Jack the Black.
Hey man, because he got the most viral moments, you know. So good for him, I guess. Would it be worse or better with Boogie as Steve? Probably better because I'd be laughing so much at just how awful the whole thing is. But then again, he'd love it, wouldn't he? That'll be like the best moment of his life, being in a movie that big. So I don't know. That's a push and pull. There's amusement, but there's also tragedy. So
Well,
Yeah.
now that we know that Zach Galifianakis still has his acting chops, we could toss him into
Yeah.
the Minecraft movie too.
Oh, they could do a multiverse of Steves. Boogie and Zach
Oh,
Galifianakis
yeah.
could star. Yes.
The Minecraft multiverse, all the Steves.
So
yeah.
cool.
Are you your universe's Steve? Are you your universe's Steve? And then they just like, oh wow, I have such a big beard in your universe. Like, oh wow, I'm a fat fuck in your universe.
And they make a joke about how like Zach Galifianakis is fat, but he's clearly the thinnest. So he's like, I'm actually like lean, really, relatively.
Yeah, like the slightly aloof, incredibly annoying protagonist child character looks at Zach Galifianakis and goes, "Oh my gosh, you're so fat," and she makes a big deal about how fat Zach is, and then Jack Black shows up and he's like, "Hi, how's everyone doing?" And she goes, "Oh my god."
Yeah, that'll be really good. That'll be such a good film.
I think so too.
Finally watched the first half of Daredevil Season 1, the OG, and holy shit, it's my new favorite superhero media, period. Perfect stakes, real hero. I'm actually laughs with the show. It's got low-key humor. Yeah, I mean, almost any...
yeah, I mean, it's quite
Any
good.
strict drama that even tries doing humor is usually way more successful than your average comedies-focused thing. Just because, you'll be invested in the characters anyway, so... Besides, you get some, like, dark humor sometimes in dramatic shit, which can be really fun. Like Mobland. Question for all of EFAP. If you were locked in a room with someone harming cinema like Snyder or Filoni and you had the opportunity to tell them directly to their face what they're doing wrong, what would you choose? How long do we have?
Between Snyder and Filoni, or what are you telling them?
Yeah, I think they just... Oh, well, if they're asking who would I choose, it would be Filoni. Snyder's useless. He's not going to...
Yes.
Filoni's going to have major influence. Yeah, I'd want to... So, assuming I have a lot of time, I probably would want to go over... I would probably start really low level, just be like, what are your favorite things? Scope out, like, what stories influenced him, and then ask him how and why, and what he thinks of them, and how things work, and then start building up to talking to him about his actual projects, how he's approached storytelling, and how it would probably end eventually with a huge warning about how he is the architect of bringing Star Wars into this era where it is about itself, it's not about storytelling, and that as much as he's poured a significant portion of his life into Star Wars, it seems now that none of it can stick, none of it stays, none of it is memorable, to the point where he's destroying his own reputation with just having people show up. And I probably want to try and give him some credit here and there, be like, you clearly want to tell stories, you clearly have an effort to try and give characters things that happen, but man, you're like all over the place, and you need to what does he need to do? Like, broadly speaking, I feel like you need to fire yourself, but if failing that, it's like you need to find people who you can work with, who can help you desperately. And I'd want to talk to him about what he thinks of the critical reception of a lot of his work, especially the later stuff.
Yeah, that would be interesting to get his perspective on that. But I think that of the two, it is probably more likely that whose mind do you think you could change more? Like, if you...
I think Filoni would be
like, you had
softer.
to, like, flip him.
As in, he'd be like, "Oh, well, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe I could do that. Sure." But while Snyder would be like,
never struck me as the kind of man who would actually stand up for himself. He just doesn't have that demeanor. But then it's baffling that he's in charge of everybody else. So he must have some personality. It's Snyder, though,
I'm sure he does. He wears a cowboy hat.
I think he might
That's
wear that as an
personality.
excuse, like as a substitute for personality.
I think the main one would be that Filoni wouldn't have like real arguments that he would present, whereas Snyder would like have a bunch of arguments that would be really fucking hard to untangle. You know, he'd be able to essentially explain all of his decisions in a very wordy way, and then it'd be like, all right, fuck, where do we begin in terms of trying to unpack that? You know,
Yeah.
whereas like
You wanna-
Filoni's ideas are so shallow that it feels like you could easily, it'd be like Inception. You could just put the ideas in his head, and he would just be like, yeah, that's my idea, yeah, sure, and that's cool, and then maybe that would mean that you can make something good.
It sort of reminded me, is it the Imagination Land episode of South Park where they bring in the different directors to kind of have this conversation, like to get their ideas? And it's like, who the fuck is it? It's like they bring in
Michael
M. Night
Bay.
Shyamalan and Michael Bay. It's like, no, it's not an idea, that's a twist. It's not an idea, that's an explosion. That's what I imagine a conversation with.
Special
That's what
effects.
Zack Snyder's going to be like. Is that that's not a story, Zack. That's just slow motion. Whereas like Filoni's would probably be, that's not a story, that's a reference. But like, I get, yeah, maybe he'd be open to having writers come in underneath him and actually do the legwork. He does seem to really love the thing. It's just that he loves almost the toy nature of it. I don't think he's ever really grown
like
up.
a child loves, like the way that a kid would love something without understanding. I guess anything. I mean, juvenile is just the word that keeps coming back to my mind over and over when we talk about him in particular.
Red Letter Media just dropped their Minecraft review. Good for them. Well, they loved it, even though I'm pretty sure they said they did
finished
not.
it. Yeah.
They didn't even watch
They
all
walked
of it.
out halfway through. Yeah. I sympathize.
The lucky ones. Who do you think is the most influential Minecraft YouTuber? No idea.
I have
No
no idea.
I know nothing about this era, this aspect of YouTube. Hi, I came to bother Little Platoon to play Soma.
I do need to do that. I've heard many good things.
Yeah, it's kind of a favorite of ours here. We do enjoy. We do recommend.
I'll bump it up the list.
I just started marathoning EFAP from the beginning in January, and I'm already on episode 53, hoping to catch up before I die. Wish me luck. Best of luck. There's quite a few episodes at this point. Missed 5 hours of this because I was too busy watching another EFAP episode. Really twists my tipples. I'm so sorry. But, you know what? Still here, ready for you whenever you need it. Minecraft should be chill and Swedish. No dialogue. Alexander Skarsgård as Steve with his dog. Fishing, mining, building his hut, and then hell portal opens, scaring the villagers, so he casually goes into hell to investigate. No. Never allowed to have that. Enjoy your Steve is I was about to say Steve is mine, Jack Black. It's all melting together. It's just words. Steve should have told him about the pumpkin trick. Guys, what's the pumpkin trick?
The pumpkin trick. I don't know what they mean by the pumpkin trick. I don't know what that's referring to. The pumpkin trick. Minecraft pumpkin trick? Yeah, I don't know. I legitimately don't know what they mean.
Oh, well then. I want to see Boogie in Minecraft. You could play one of the pigs or whatever, right? Live action, I mean.
You play all of them.
Who's better, Jack Black or Jim Carrey? Jim Carrey. Easy.
Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, not even close. Almost insulted you asked the question.
Yeah. That's also not how Axe Combat works unless he's in Bedrock. In the film, I mean.
In the film, I'm sure there's nothing actually resembling the real game in there now. Yeah.
Flint and Steel, that's a paddling. Chicky Jockey, that's a paddling. Let's mine and then craft. Oh, you better believe that's a paddling. Rags, what's that reference to?
Oh, that's Simpsons.
Congratulations.
Job.
Criticism of the hour. You guys complain about there being 2 Batmans, but really that's a good thing unless you don't want more shows like The Penguin. Holy shit. First of all...
What?
What? The context of the complaints is more so about the confusion for the audience and the fuck up that's going to do for marketing, the brand, and the nature of like box office. It's a really bad decision from Warner. Like what the fuck are you guys doing? It's just completely unfocusing it. When Batman is already in potential confusion as to how much it's a box office draw. You got to be careful. You got to make sure you're nailing all of this, right? It came up that Mr. Terrific deserves his own $1 billion making movie, and it's like fucking Batman is having trouble reaching $1 billion. Okay, we don't need to be dealing with that. Having two Batmans running at the same time is a bad thing. Is usually in the context of that. But secondly, why would having two Batmans increase the likelihood for a show like The Penguin?
Yeah, like if anything, it could just mean that you have two concurrent shit Batmans.
Absolutely,
Like
yeah.
the idea
don't
that
have to
there
do
are
a show, we got all
the
the
idea
movies.
that there's a different one means that it's like, do we feel this way about the video games? Like that it yielded good results that they were doing the Suicide Squad game
Fuck
and also
no.
that Gotham Knights game. It's like, hey, well, it's more options. Why would more mean good? Good means good. Like as long as it's good, that'd be nice.
Well, the Penguin
yeah,
TV show is
obviously-
unprecedented. When did we get in history a Batman spin-off TV show that was as good as the Penguin? And don't fucking say Gotham. Good God. So
yeah, it's and you know the quality of the Penguin doesn't necessarily say, you know, whether or not the Batman Part 2 would be like exceptionally quality, right? Because the Penguin is better than the Batman. Like it's a better show than that is a film.
broadly speaking, yes, I probably do just in general think it's a better idea to focus your Batman, not have like
Absolutely.
if they were making Tim Burton's Batman at the exact same time as Zack Snyder's Batman, at the same time as Joss Whedon's Batman, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? That's so
Like,
weird.
Remember, it's all about making sure that that the normies can follow along, and like having two versions. As much as you can be like, come on, that's easy. It's like, no, it ain't. It actually isn't. Like, that's not beneficial to you. It's one of the big successes of the MCU in terms of being a project is that a Marvel movie, now when people think of you know, now it's kind of a curse, but a Marvel movie means that it's going to exist in this sort of general continuity. To the point that people might have thought the X-Men films, when they were still running, were part of the MCU, or the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Like, most people aren't paying attention to, like, the canon or the continuity or anything. But if you've got Batmans that are played by two different actors, people are going to wonder which one is meant to be the real one. And they're going to wonder it, and they're not going to feel like doing any research to figure it out.
No.
Which is already just like, yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Consolidate. Pick one. And then stick with that one.
Yeah, like what an insanely retarded decision. To the point where we're seeing the repercussions, which are now from the rumors. It's that Batman is getting blocked off from James Gunn, and they're going to sort out Reeves first, like Brave and the Bold shit.
I mean, what is going on? Why is it taking so long for anything to materialize for the Batman 2? Why is it taking so long?
Yeah, this should have been something that ironed out. One of the first things that they talked about.
And someone could say, like, yeah, but I mean, it's a good thing that they're taking the time with the script, right? It's like, well, first of all, you know, it depends, really. You could spend, I mean, apparently Guardians 3 spent a whole year working on James Gunn, and it was not good. But moreover, it's like, no, but it's taken too long, though. It's conspicuously taking a while for them to make a sequel to a film that was successful. Why is it taking so long for there to even be a script? Why has it been delayed, like, twice already? You know, I think it was meant to come out in 2025. Now it's coming out 2027 at the earliest. It's odd.
Yes, it is. My godson loves Minecraft. I have no idea what it's all about. He wants to see it, but he normally has good taste in movies. What to do? Hey, you know, take him to see it if he really wants to see it, right? Let him decide if he thinks it's a good one.
Of his, the good taste streak of his.
Don't ask Steve how he made a smelly brown house. Oh. Have you watched or talked about Severance yet? If not, do you have any interest in covering the show in the future? Not particularly. It's going to matter as to how it sort of closes up. I don't know how many seasons it's going to have, but so far the general sentiment seems to be too similar to Lost, where everyone is waiting to see what the mysteries mean, which to me is just like, okay, let me know if it has a really, really good ending, and then I'll be nice and invested to go check it out. Bringing a bed into the Nether would have been an actual fun Easter egg for those that played Minecraft, but of course the writers don't know that. The writers didn't play Minecraft. Asking a lot.
Oh no.
Good day, all. It seems to me that
did, but...
yeah. Seems to me that this film is going to have the same reputation as the original Mario Bros. Film, so in other words, let's wait 40 years for the fully animated one. I don't think it will have that reputation because it made a shit ton of money and people really enjoyed it, whether or not they, consider it shitty.
Yeah, there's no way they're letting this lie for 40 years, much as we might want them to. It's going to be Minecraft movie at least every other year.
Howdy, Longman et al. I found you guys a year or so ago from Platoon and was pleasantly surprised when you joined as a permanent co-host. Keep up the good fleams, gents.
Yeah, you bet. We will. We will.
No problemo. But yes, now we have... this is hard to... I'm not even sure what I'm dealing with here. Ultimate Beast of the Day? And it's called...
Ultimate Beast?
The Staccatica? The Staccatica Entry Ultra Sun. And from Googling, this is what I'm dealing with, apparently.
Oh.
Is that a
okay.
Pokemon?
It's like a... I don't
think it's a Pokemon. I doubt it. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm dealing with, like I said. But there it is. Look at it. Look at him. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I just don't know the context exactly. Like nobody else has got anything to say. So sorry.
No.
I mean, I'm kind of looking at him. I guess that's his
Oh
eye.
wait, he is a Pokemon.
It looks like his...
Wait, it is?
It is a Pokemon. Okay.
I guess I
'Cause
can
my
believe it.
guess was going to be like it's like a what's the fucking the magnet one that evolves into 3 magnet ones stuck together.
Magneton.
That's
Magnemite
the one.
turns into
No.
Magneton.
Yeah, like
I got one
my
right
guess
here, right
is
next
the
to me,
little
actually.
individual bricks are sentient and they will come together to make this thing. But I've never seen it before because it looks like it's from a generation I've never played.
I'm sure he's super interesting. And does all kinds of wacky things. Like throwing bricks at you.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah.
Is it a bunch of crit? Yeah, I think Platoon was right because it looks like his eyeball
Looks
is like
the,
one of the other ones.
they're in the new Zelda games, like the big that shoot lasers out of their eyes. Kind of looks like that. I don't know what they're called though. Reminds me a little bit of that. A little bit, not too much though.
Then our extinct animal of the day is the Telosaurus, the rhino built like a corgi.
That is
It's what because of the short
he
legs.
likes the buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be chill, hopefully. But, maybe not.
I think
It looks like he scrapes his stomach along the ground when he walks. He's too fat. His legs are too short for his size.
Well, it looks like he went extinct for that very reason.
maybe, yeah.
Gotta get long or get out. Well, on that note, that is the last message for this catch-up. Thank you so much for all of your kind and interesting messages. But for now, we're going to say toodle pip, cheerio, goodbye.
Yeah,
See you later,
everybody. We will see
everybody.
you later.